origin of the Chief Data Officer is really all about the fact that organizations are beginning to realize that data is valuable and that data needs to be managed. A part of that is coming from all the regulations that are coming out, and we talk about GDPR almost all the time, but it's not just GDPR, there's a whole bunch of others, and organizations are beginning to realize that they need somebody who will focus on data. So the CIO, the CTO, the CEO, all of those C levels, they've already got their own jobs, and some of it has a portion of data, but it isn't all about the data. So that's really the origin. Effectively, over a period of time, I think the CDO has become a new role that organizations have. They still don't quite know what the CDO should do. We've got this, oh, we might want to do that, we might want to do the next thing, but we're not really sure. They also don't know where the CDO should report into. So you've got CDOs reporting into the CIO, you've got some reporting to the CEO, you've got some reporting to finances, compliance, operations, but effectively at some stage they need to get to a higher level where they're at that executive board level and they're making data decisions, data-driven decisions. I think that the CDO role, because it's still so immature and it's so broad, I think that in the next 18 months to 2 years, we're going to start to see a swing towards it becoming its own role, really its own role. I think that we'll see a level of CIOs, the information officers, will start to sort of realize that some of what they're doing should actually become a data role rather than a technology role, and there'll be some sharing of responsibilities and accountabilities. I'm not sure that I see Chief Analytics Officer necessarily taking over from a data role. They're more focused on using the data and getting the right outcomes, whereas a Chief Data Officer is almost focused on the control and management and governance. So that to me feels like the way it will go. I mean, again, this is my sort of like forecast for the future. Who knows? In 3 years' time, come ask me the same question and I'll tell you something different probably. The biggest challenge is getting everyone in the organization to really get data is valuable. Without data, the organization doesn't run. People don't get that yet, not even your C-levels. They kind of have that feel, but until you say, okay, I'm taking all your data away, now do business, they don't get it. And CDOs struggle still with that. I think a part of it is communication skills. You can spend your life saying the same thing, but if you're not saying it in a way that the person to whom you're talking understands what you're saying, you're missing the point. So again, for me, the Chief Data Officer has to be an absolute major communicator. Other challenges, I would say, is the organizations, most organizations still have the silos where if you want to talk to finance, you can't talk to HR. If you want to talk to operations, you can't talk to this one. And they all, that's my data. You're not touching my data. I don't want you to play with it. So there is that level of silos. They don't talk to each other. They don't want to share the data. They don't want you as the CDO to actually know what you're doing under the hood with the data.